It is with great honor that I introduce Holly Kreider, Program Director for the Community and Opportunity Program at the Heising-Simons Foundation, is this year's PACT Hackworth Leadership Honoree. Holly is not only someone who is deeply admired in our field and our community, but I have the privilege of also calling her a friend and thought partner. Holly has never subscribed to the top-down historical approach of philanthropy. She has today and always had a deep commitment to supporting grassroots, community design solutions, and community-driven organizing. It is not a fad for her. Early adopter always, and true to the Heising-Simons Foundation's mission, Holly knows that the knowledge, opportunities, and possibilities are already in the community. Philanthropy just serves to unlock them. She was and still is ahead of her time. She leads, others join. Her humble questioning is a guide to emerging philanthropists. We've had the privilege on working on so many projects together. We have done so because Holly firmly believes that together we will go farther. From supporting youth organizing to stopping gun violence to now working with counties on their plans for the future. During the pandemic, we could not have asked for a better partner. Holly's focus on grassroots organizations and grassroots organizing led to the strengthening of our social infrastructure in Santa Clara County. Investing in organizations that know their neighborhoods, that are trusted by their communities, that can get the word out about testing, vaccines, and rental support was pivotal to this county having the highest vaccination rates, lowest transmission rates, and highest use of social benefits. Which brings me back to PACT. People acting in community together. Thank you for the work you do every day, serving the community, and building movements in our community, and keeping philanthropy on its toes, ensuring that we know of community-driven and community-designed solutions so that we can make effective investments. There is so much more to do, and there has never been such a need for PACT. The events of the last 18 months have laid bare the racial injustices that exist and also opened a window of opportunity to push for a bold racial justice agenda. No excuses. PACT is perfectly positioned to be that advocate. The change has to be led by the people, and that is people acting in community together. Today, it is so appropriate that Holly be honored with the Hackworth Leadership Award. Holly's life's work has been devoted to supporting people acting in community together. I am so proud to call her my friend and thought partner. Congratulations, Holly.
It's certainly an honor to receive this award. I mean, it's incredibly humbling, and I do so on behalf of our board, our leadership, all of our staff. I like to call it my own local team, Maddie Perkins and Brandy Lash. And we've been doing local grant making just as long as the foundation has been around, and that's since 2007. In addition to the other program areas that we focus on, climate and clean energy, early childhood education, science, and human rights. More recently, over the past 3 years, I'd say, we've been doing strategic local grant making, and that really has more to do with building the power of residents of San Jose to affect policy and systems change. And that strategic focus really came about because in conversations with our board, who had a real desire to see our work really carried out at the community level. In terms of collective power, I mean, it's really the overall goal of our local grant making, right? Mm-hmm. And we're investing in individual what we call anchor organizations like PACT. We're also investing in what I call like a strong ecosystem. So that is, how can we invest in coalitions and in partnerships, and also walk that talk ourselves and either bring other funders along or partner with other funders who are already doing great work. So that's a piece of that collective mentality. So that's how we sort of started and arrived at today. Our goal really, I think, is to, especially with our local grant making, which is really about investing in communities and building up the power of residents who maybe have been historically cut out of important decision making when it comes to policy and systems. We're looking for anchor organizations that have deep roots in the community and have built a lot of trust and have a track record of change. And PACT has all of that. and more. I've been at the foundation for 9 years now, and I've known PACT that entire time and prior to that because I was in education circles locally before that, and I knew PACT for its incredible reputation. I mean, not 36 years of PACT, but maybe a dozen years, for its incredible reputation of education in the education justice movement and helping with the creation of high-performing schools serving Latino students. And I'd say since I've come to the foundation, I've also gotten the opportunity and the privilege to interact with PACT on a number of occasions. I do know PACT not just as a grant maker, but also as a community member. And my family, my mother, my daughter belong to a faith-based institution that is a member of PACT. And a few years ago, we had just the honor of being part of a vigil that PACT organized down the street from our home in Sunnyvale at the site of an alleged hate-based crime. And I mean, it was very powerful for me. I still remember holding up signs that said things like, love thy neighbor, and we are all one family. And for me as a white single mom raising 2 girls of color, it was really powerful to be part of a community that was making that visible statement in that moment, to stamp out hate. And it was also just a reminder, as a grant maker too, certainly, that PACT has a really important role as a moral leader in our community. So lots of touch points, and I still feel like we're in the getting to know you stage, but I'm excited to move beyond that between Heising-Simons Foundation and PACT to a more durable partnership. Our goal is to really walk alongside you in the important work that you're doing and to become better allies along the way. And so this recognition, I think, I hope, signifies that we're heading in the right direction in that regard.